Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Nick, episode 3. Basically, Cooking with Nick is a show where I cook a variety of different things for you guys and essentially impart my skills to you guys at home on how to cook different things that I like to cook here. So today we're gonna do top ramen. Just top ramen is a food that's pretty much like okay, so top ramen is essentially like just the standard grain of quick food. It's like it's hard to find somebody who hasn't had top ramen or at least cooked top ramen sometime in their life. But if you haven't, or if you don't know how, that's what I'm here to do today. So we're going to be using the Nissan brand, or it might be Nissan or Nissan. It doesn't really matter what brand you use. Some people use Marjan and stuff like that. It really doesn't matter. Most of it tastes the same. So what you're going to need, you'll need some sort of spoon or stirring instrument / eating instrument, which I like to use a spoon so I can use the same thing. You need a pot, or a pot here, and then a bowl here. I like to use 2 packets of the ramen. It creates a fuller meal, I guess. It's more calories. I feel like 1 is pretty light for my tastes, but that all depends on you. But in this tutorial I'll be doing 2, so you'll learn how to do it that way, and then you can kind of make adjustments on your own later. So I guess let's get started. The first thing you're going to need to do, at least the first thing that I do, is we're going to crush up the ramen. And the reason we don't crush it too much, but just a little bit. And the reason we do this is so that the noodles are more evenly distributed. They're more broken up, so it's easier to consume without slurping everywhere, and it cooks a little bit more evenly. There's not weird patchy spots or anything like that. So I'm going to break that up. Okay. So step 2. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the packets gently, and we're going to take out the little flavor packets. Now, there's one of these in each top ramen bag. They stand up pretty well, but sometimes they can be buried in there, so just make sure to look for it. You should always have one, and you definitely don't want to pour that in by accident into the bowl. So we get the other flavor packet here. So we put those aside for now, and what we're going to do next is we're going to take our pot, and we're going to fill it up with some water, and you can just do that from the sink. The water will boil anyway, so if there's any weird impurities or anything like that, it'll boil out. And we're not going to use too much water. We're just going to get a decent amount of water in there. Not overkill or anything like that, but just a modest amount. So I don't know if you can see inside the bowl, but that's about how much. And you can kind of give or take based on your own personal preference. So we'll put that on the thing to get ready to boil. And then we're going to turn on our heat here. I like to put it on high or medium. Low, it takes a while to cook. You can be waiting for upwards of like 30 minutes to 6 hours. Like it really is a random amount of time when you put it on low. So I put it on high myself, but some people put it on medium. And at this point, all we need to do now is wait for it to boil. Looks like it's boiling. Fantastic. Okay, so at this point, once it starts boiling, you're going to want to take a timer of some sort, which I just use my phone. Some people, you can use whatever you can use for a timer. I mean, make your best judgment, but a phone works good. If you have one of those ovens that work, that can work too. But we're going to get 3 minutes ready on the timer instead of here, so that once we put the noodles in, we can start our timer. So let's take the bags, get them ready, and then we're just going to add that to the boiling water. And give it a bit of a stir here, and start our timer. So during this point, I like to get the packets ready. So we open those up and get them prepared for the end. Just try not to make a mess of things if you can. Some of them are unpredictable. They can really just burst out. So make sure that doesn't happen, because otherwise it will get very messy and you get all the floor and stuff, and you won't notice it for a while later. So we got our packets ready, we got our noodle ready. Let's give it one more stir here. And make sure that we're gonna make sure that basically it doesn't boil over the sides and make a mess. And we do that just by stirring it every now and then. So it looks like we still got 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, so we're just gonna wait for a little bit. So, okay, yeah, still a minute and 30 seconds, 31 seconds left. We just give it a little bit. Oh, it looks like it's about to overflow. We gotta. So we're gonna stir it to make sure that it doesn't fall off go over the sides. And essentially, it should just be about ready. As you look here, you can see that the noodles are getting pretty soft, and so with so when they get soft, so you can get the noodles ready. All right, looks like there's 53 seconds remaining, so let's give it a little bit more time. Yeah, it looks like it's really getting a good boil now. Ooh, almost ready. Looks like the timer's about ready. So we're going to turn off the heat now. Give it a little bit of time to cool off here, just a little bit, before we move on to the next part. Okay, so we're going to take the noodles here, and we're going to, oh, looks like there's a little bit too much water in it. So we'll pour some of that out. And then we're just going to pour it into the bowl, nice and evenly. Yeah, look at that, very good. And then you just rinse out the pot, which since it's noodles, it flows very easily out of the pot. It makes the cleaning process very much easier. So let's get these noodles kind of evenly arranged and get our flavor packets ready that we put aside from earlier. So just take your flavor packet and kind of pinch it like this to get the flavor to kind of, the powder to kind of accumulate more evenly so that it doesn't come out in clumps. And we're just going to kind of salt over the top of the noodles. And then with the other packet we do the same. I like to use 2 packets. Again, you don't have to. You could throw the other one away or save it for later or save it for something else. Whatever you want to do. So we got the 2 packets in, and now we're just gonna stir it in evenly as best we can. And the most important thing here is just to move your spoon kind of fluidly around in different patterns, so that you really get distribution of flavor throughout the noodles. And it's going to turn a little bit yellow, kind of orangey yellow, which is that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. like unfinished. Just take a look at it. I mean, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Man, can't wait to have some. So, hey, thank you everybody for tuning in thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you next time on Cooking with Nick. C'est la vie.